we we start the slideshow off with with teamwork, because really it boils down to that. We have some amazing systems in place. We have some awesome life-changing information that we're sharing and is in place. And but if you don't use everybody that's on the team, like if you don't use teamwork, like if you don't use me, if you're not clear about something that I put together, or if you don't talk to the people on your team that came on to your crowdfunding wheel to help them get to the next level, if you just don't pay attention to the teamwork part, you're just gonna miss it all. I'm real serious about that. So it's required that we do this as a team. That's what this wheel does. So it's important that we know. Okay, we got a little bit of issue I'm trying to solve over here. Okay, here we go. So watch this. The commitment part of what we're doing goes back to the team, but it also goes back to one more step further. It just goes back to you. When we see this Tony Robbins and this TD Jakes and entrepreneur stuff on the screen, commitment means staying loyal to what you said you were going to do long after the mood that you said it in is gone or has left you. That commitment really goes back to you. If you said you were going to do something, if you believed that you were going to try to accomplish something dealing with Cash Crowdfund, if you set a goal, you got to commit to it for you, literally for you. But man, you got so much help to help you accomplish these goals that you set for yourself. So first of all, please set them. Set bold goals. Set big, audacious goals. And then I dare you to believe you're going to accomplish them. So I just want you to commit to what you feel like you are going to accomplish. All right, so here's our platform. Oh, and I can pause on this one for a minute, but I'm not, because in Houston, the Houston meeting yesterday, the second one, was pretty interesting. That's why I was hoping Bishop McLeod was on the line with us tonight. I'm gonna keep looking to see if he joins us though. But these three things right here, ladies and gentlemen, these are our three legal platforms. The first one is President Obama back in 2012 signed the Jobs Act, JOBS. And I really want to continue to encourage everybody on the line, if you have not looked it up and read it for yourself, you'll be doing yourself a major favor. You would be ahead of the class if you were to go ahead and Google the Jobs Act of 2012 and have a read at it yourself. And you'll see these words here. You'll see crowdfunding, entrepreneur, ordinary Americans, small dollar investments, and you'll see that it's a gift for us to be able to do what we need to do to raise funds for our projects, for our causes, and for our ventures. So that's pretty much everything that you might need to raise money for. You can do it with the crowdfunding, right? And so the second part is the annual gift tax exclusion for 2020. It's $15,000. It's the Gift Tax Act, which is now gift tax law. Every year they reevaluate how much money one person can gift to another one, and you can do it multiple times. I mean, one person can give $15,000 to other individuals as many as they want to, and you'll be free from a tax implication. That means you don't have to worry about writing it off on taxes, and neither does the person who's receiving the gift. It's a gift. That's all that it is. And every year they evaluate it. This year it's the same as it was last year, which is $15,000. See IRS 709, IRS Form 709 for that. But what I really like the most about our legal platform, if you want to term it in that way, is our donation form. In the summary, it would say that I'm giving this gift of money to someone else with no expectations of return from that person, right? So you don't gift the $25 and then come back to that person later and be like, hey, remember I gave you that $25? You owe me something. it excludes you. It excludes you from that. That means you don't have. That is not what the donation form is saying to you. But it's also saying, if you look at the bottom, if you ever look at the bottom of the donation form, I like this part where it says, I have an option to participate in a fundraiser campaign of my own, for my own personal or business funding. And then you have a person circle that they choose to participate or they don't. So those three bits of information, the Jobs Act, Gift Tax Act, and our donation form, should answer any and all questions that someone may have in regards to, is this legal? The answer is absolutely 100% legal, and we're authorized to do so. All right, so our philosophy. These next two slides really summarize everything that you need to know about what we do with our cash crowdfunding opportunity here. But there's some key words I want to point out. So with our philosophy is that you personally will plant a seed to have one person fund their campaign. It's $25. And then a $12 one-time admin fee that equals the $37. The key word in that, you're planting a seed. You're not just giving them $25. Although there is $25 in the envelope that you're sending to them, when you plant a seed, there's a greater expectation. You know, there's a demand on that seed. You know, there's things that you have that says that seed has a mission, has something that needs to do in order to fulfill its job, which is that it goes and blesses someone else. So we like to say that we're sending blessings in the mail. That's what the $25 is. But so after you successfully use our system to help you find two people, which everything that we put together, all the marketing material, this call right here, and all the times we're on three-way calls, the 7-day tour I just went on, everything was designed to help you personally find two people. That's what it is, two people. And we encourage you to look for people that are close to you in your life, you know, friends and loved ones and people that you know very well. You know, you want to find them to be a blessing to them, right? Add that part to it, to be a blessing to them. And then you can go through this financial journey with them. You know, like on my team, when I learned about this information and I started to let people know about this existed because of the Jobs Act, you know, I got my best friend in all the world since the 6th grade, you know, Brett Mack. You know, I got my mother-in-law, long-term friend and military person relation, and Angelina. You know, my wife was the one I asked. You know, I just got all the people that are in my life that I love the most and that I care the most about. I asked them to join me on the team. And then the so cool thing about it is you get to find new people. You know, family is just the friends that you choose. Right? When you choose friends, you kind of choosing a new family group. So when Anita King came in from Chicago, we clicked right away. You know, we already knew her niece. She was an elder over top of our care group that my wife and I hold at the home, you know, through our church. But so I was gonna, you know, I told my wife, I said, man, Anita's pretty cool. I'm gonna tell her about what we're doing with the cash crowd fund. And she was like, okay, go ahead and tell her. You know, and it's just been one of those match made in heavens or whatever, because Anita's been an awesome friend in the short amount of time that we've known her. And now she's just running this thing as a leader, you know, in my organization with Cash Crowdfund. So you get to do some really cool things like that. So once you find two people and you help them find their two, that's a total of 6. The next 8 people that join your team, they are contributing directly to your financial endeavors, whatever that it happens to be. Those 8 blessings in the mail, which is 8 times 25, that's $200 that comes to you because you joined and said, I want to use this platform to take care of some financial things that I have going on. So it's a very simple system. And the next slide will really bring it home for you. So after you got the philosophy down pat, you just want to understand that there's a methodology. There's a way to do it. Look at the top of the slide if you're actually on the video. Some people are on the phone and some people are not on video. But if you are on the video, it says donate. If you're not, rather, I'm going to read it to you. Donate to each wheel as you receive the donations from the original $25 seed wheel, right? But look at this for a second. I need you to check out the power of this seed right here. You're going to take care of your $25 level, your $50 level, your $100 level, and your $250 level from the one seed that you planted, which is a $25 donation to somebody that you might not even know. So as you receive those first two donations of the 8 that you will receive of the first level, you want to immediately take that and continue to let the seed do what the seed is supposed to do, and that is to bring back you a harvest. So plant your $50 onto the 50, plant the next 4 donations that you get at 25 to the 100, and the last 2 donations, number 7 and 8, you get to keep that and buy some gas or something, you know, get some groceries, you know, whatever. But you get to keep the last 2 donations and do whatever you want to do with them. Because what you have just done with the first 6 donations that you received, you just opened up a financial floodgate. I mean, it literally will turn your world upside down in a very good way. So here's a key thing about this seed. It's perpetual. So therefore, when you receive the last 4 $100 contributions, remember everybody receives 8 contributions from each level as you go through this system. At the $25 level, you get an 8 contribution. At the $50 level, you get 8 contributions. You contribute 1 time, you get 8 back. At the $100 level, you contribute 1 time, you get 8 back. And so at those last 4 contributions on the on the $100 level, you're going to use that to re-enter or reseed the 25, the 50, the $100 level, and go to the $250 level for the first time. What that enables you to do is to get another 8 donations from the $25 level, another 8 from the 50, another 8 donations from the 100, and get your first 8 donations from the $250 level. It's a total of $3,400 in seed money back to you. Now that's a nice little harvest for $37 out of pocket to get started. Next slide. And it typically takes about 1 to 3 months, depending on how fast or slow that you move. So here's a basic outline of the type of monetary donations that you can receive. You know, before I talk a little bit about this money, I just want to let you know it's really not about the money, right? It's really what you can do with the money. The money is important. Hopefully you're here to receive that, but it's really what you do with it. So we're talking about sending blessings in the mail, and we're talking about receiving a lot of donations back to yourself. So I'm hoping that you're spending some time thinking about what you're going to do with it. You got to plan for it. You believe that you're going to get it and everything like that, and then you'll be shown what to do with it. But let me go back to levels 1, 2, and 3 just to illustrate. The $25, $50, and $100 level times 8, that's $1,400. So right away, you did contribute to $37, which is a $25 seed blessing to someone, and $12 for the admin fee to take care of all of our tracking and stuff, all of our back office things that we need to see what's going on with our opportunity. But the most significant thing about those first 3 levels is that all the work that you need to do to complete the remaining 6 levels, because there's a total of 9 levels of donations starting from the 25, 50, and 100, goes to the 250, 500, and 1,000, and then it concludes with the $2,000, $5,000, and $10,000 level. But look at that first part on phase 1. All the work is done right here. Complete your personal will of 15 people. That's you, plus the 2 you brought on board, plus the 4 people that follow them, and the 8 people that contribute to you. That's a total of 15. Once the 14 other people on your will have completed their own personal will, which is 2, 4, and 8, you will be able to complete all 9 levels, because that structure of 15 archive wills is enough to be self-sustaining to continue through the rest of the levels. But it does, we will continue to grow, because obviously the people that was on the last few people who came in, they're going to try to continue to get their 2, 4, 8, which gives them a completed archive wheel. They want to receive their 8 donations. So it continues on. We literally built the system to be perpetual. We built the system and provided all of the support so that anybody who wanted to can come on board and use this system and everything that it offers to help you find your two people. That's for everybody. So the reason why I want to pause here is because if you are one of the people who came on board and didn't bring anybody to the team, or you got two people and nobody's done anything and everything like that, until you have asked the question of people like myself and Bruce and Dr. Malone and all these tons and tons of leaders, Brett, Mac, everybody's on this call that can definitely answer your question. If you're not asking the question to get the answer, you will probably stay stuck on a wheel, quote unquote, stuck on a wheel. It just means you're not asking enough questions from the people who know the answer so that you can get to the next level. Every single person on this line is able to get to the next level. I promise you that. It's just two people. It's not that difficult. Phase 2 is $14,000 because the people that came on and followed you from the 25, 50, and 100, all they did was follow you to the 250, 500, and 1,000. They just followed you. As they received their donations, they went to the next level like you. What does that mean? Well, when you receive all of your donations, like I showed you on the $25 level, then all you do is you plant the seed on the next higher level. So if you were at the $250 level, for instance, and you received 8 donations like you do at every level, then that's $2,000. Well, to go to the $500 level, you're going to take $500 of the 2,000 that you just received, and you plant a seed of $500 to the person that's ahead of you. Typically, it's your inviter that came just before you did. And then likewise from the 500 and the 1,000 and so forth and so on. But the second phase is $14,000. And you did less work on that phase than you did on the first phase, because all the work is completed in the first phase, right? Finally, the last phase is phase 3. It's level 7, 8, and 9. It is 9 levels. It's the 2,000, 5,000, and 10,000. It equals a total of $136,000 because you get 8 donations from each one of those 3 levels, and 8 times $17,000 is $136,000. It's absolutely incredible. We have some other philosophies and methodology on how we, keep coming back in to help out the people that came after us, and we address the people this way who perhaps didn't, found 2 people and they quote unquote stuck on the wheel. Then we're able to come back in and scoop them up and bring them up with us or whatever, inspired by the Harriet Tubman movie. I'm always give her some credit. What's up, P. Parham? And, we'll go ahead and make it happen like that. So I'm super excited that we're able to just be a blessing to people. We can help people out, and we can move through this system relatively easy. And whenever it's not easy for you, it's because you haven't asked enough questions. Once you get your questions answered, you'll continue to move rapidly like everyone else is doing. We are blazing this thing. Next slide. We're blazing it. Dream Team, you guys are doing an amazing job, man. I am telling you, man, when I did that tour these last 7 days, I was just all the way impressed, man. Just super impressed. I'm so glad that I was able to come and visit everyone like that. Well, not everyone, but most of you. And on the 14th of March, if me and Bruce get our details worked out, plan on taking this show on the road and going to DC, back to my birthplace, and kind of do us a Super Saturday out there on March 14th. This slide right here, I added it in here real quick just to kind of, because I want to remind you that once you understand how the wheel works, you're going to have a better time with, managing your organization and explaining to people what's going on. A lot of people are confused about this aspect when they first come on board. And so I put this slide here in its simplest form just so we can kind of understand a little bit about how the wheel automatically works. But primarily it's the job of the admin that we paid $12 for, and to help us to navigate this whenever we have a problem or anything like that. They put this system together. We're just participating with it. So everybody that comes into every level, you start off on the red. Just like on the $25 level, you're going to enter somewhere in the red because that's the only place that you can enter. You can't start on the wheel in the orange or the yellow or the green. You must start on the red. Likewise, on the 50 and the 100 and all other wheels, you always will start in the red. and then the wheel will always split, and it will always turn clockwise. So in this example, I got you coming in on the 15, but then you went to number 5. If you can see the slide, you'll see how you went from 15 to 5, and that's where you're bringing your 2 people. Now, what I'm going to use this slide for is to help you understand that it's about a 2-4-8 philosophy. You should personally bring in your 2. You should help them bring in their 2 each, which is 4. And then those 4 should bring in 2 each, which is 8, which are the ones that are contributing to your financial campaign. So you went from 15 to 5. Now it's time to put in your 2 people on number 10 and 11. You don't have to be overly concerned about the numbers right now, but it is kind of cool to know each position on the wheel when you get an opportunity to, just so you kind of see how everything flows, and it just makes you feel a lot better about the functionality of the wheel. But once you come to number 5 in this example, and you bring in your first 2 people, the only thing that's going to happen is the other person that was in the orange like you, which was number 4, by the way, they brought in their 2 people also. If you're looking at the top of the wheel, you're number 5, you brought in 2. The other orange is number 4, they brought in 2. Now you rotate down to the yellow. You're moving closer to the center. That's the receiving position. That's where you start to receive your donations. You do not receive any donations until you make it to the center of the wheel. But at the yellow position, you see number 15, 14, 13, and 12. That's where your first 2 people brought in their 2 people each, and that was 4 new people underneath you. So you brought in 10 and 11. They brought in the 4 on the bottom, 15, 14, 13, 12. Lastly, you're going to go to the middle, of course. So once you finish with being in the number 3 position and 4 people came on board, you're going to the wheel is going to rotate and split again, and you're going to move to the center green position, number 1, and then those 4 people that just came in, number 15, 14, 13, and 12, they're going to bring in their 2 people because they rotated up to the orange. They bring in 2 people. You get 8 donations. That will is complete. We call that archived. The will is archived and complete. And then the same exact thing happened for the first 2 people you brought in, the next 4 that came in, and then the 8 that contribute to you. They're all rotating and splitting and getting their 2 people, getting their 4 people, going to the middle, getting their 8 donations, and they're following you on the wheel from the 25, the 50, the 100, 250, all the way up to the $10,000 level. Okay, so that's a brief explanation of the wheel. Let's conclude this real quick, guys, and that way I can see if you got any questions. This tracking form right here is the same as what I just showed you on the wheel. When you're kind of monitoring the people that you're bringing in, you see you're in the green, and then the first 2 yellows are your 2 people, and the 4 oranges, and the 8 reds. Yeah. This example is how each person, now catch this for me, guys, don't let me go too fast on this, I need you to catch this. Everybody's doing the same thing. They're archiving or completing their wheel. They're doing so by bringing on their 2 people. Those people bring on their 4. The 4 bring on the 8. When everybody on your original wheel of 15 has done that, that's when this structure is completed right here. When that happens, that's a complete structure of contributors that will move through the other levels as a group. There's not even another space there for someone else to even be added. It's self-sustaining. Now, this structure will duplicate and be completed, for many more people, of course, but everyone is seeking to bring on a total of 127 people into this structure so that you can move freely through the remaining levels. Okay? And in conclusion, and then I'm just going to show you some marketing stuff after this one, but in conclusion, you got to commit to the philosophy, and you can't commit to something you don't understand about. But I will give you a clue. Once you understand the philosophy, you got to make it your own. You got to understand those 2 or 3 or 4 little things I've been talking about, and then you got to assimilate yourself with it, meaning you got to make it be your system, because every aspect of what we're doing was developed. It actually evolved, and it has a bunch of other things that's unwritten and unspoken that's attached to it because it solves a problem. Every aspect of the philosophy addresses something that maybe could go wrong or could slow down your process. interfere with your donations or whatever. So every aspect of the philosophy is important, just like every aspect of the methodology. Think about this for a second. Let me talk about the methodology as an example. Let's say you planted your $25 seed and you sent a blessing out to somebody, and you eventually started receiving your donations. And so you spent the first donation, you spent the second donation, and you spent the third, the fourth, and the fifth, and the sixth donation. And then I go, hey, you didn't plant a seed to the $50 wheel, and you didn't plant a seed to the $100 wheel, like the methodology would tell you to do. So now you ate your seed money. So now you didn't even allow your seed to do everything the seed was programmed to do. So you have to understand what the philosophy is. You got to understand the methodology, because you can mess it up on accident. But I will tell you that in order to really get it all you really got to get is that it's teamwork. If you just understand that if you have a question and all you got to do is ask that question, we're going to get an answer. It's teamwork when you don't understand. It's teamwork when you're going slow. It's teamwork when you're trying to solve an equation. Use all of us in the community to get to where you're trying to go. So consistency and persistency, they are necessary. Yeah, we got to keep doing it until you get to where you're trying to go. It's a goal that you have. Just like any other goal, you work towards it. But accountability to yourself is, and the predictability is the seeds and the fruit of this system. If you're accountable to yourself, it's going to create a predictable outcome, right? Remember I showed you that structure with all those archive wheels? You don't have to create that. It forms automatically. It's predictable. You don't have to worry about if you're going to make $3,400 in contributions as you go from the 100 to the 250. When you follow the methodology and philosophy, that's the amount of donations you receive. It's just right there. You don't even have to think about it. So the predictability will become obvious when you're accountable. So, in conclusion, before we ask for questions, we got some great training tools out there. These are just marketing stuff to help spread the news, spread the information. Our 4x6 crowdfunding card, real simple. It's just designed to give it to somebody that you know or that you met, so they can visit the website, and then they can call you back if they have any questions. And Vistaprint has been so gracious that you can order your own cards just by asking to transfer this file from my account to your account. Vistaprint itself is free, but the cards, cost depending on how many you order. But this is very economically priced. One-page overview, like we used over in Houston yesterday, went out very, very well. And it's also the same thing we used when we launched the Dayton, Ohio crew with Brett Mack. We used a one-page overview. It was just the 8 slides, 4 on the front, 4 on the back of a single oversized sheet of paper, 11 by 17, and we're able to just kind of talk to people on the fly. At one point, I was having 3 or 4 or 5 conversations because people were looking ahead on the overview page, which was fine with me, and I was able to really have a real interactive, dialogue with everybody because they all had the entire slideshow right in front of their face. Didn't have to have a screen or anything. It's pretty cool. Okay, let me tell you about this before we overlook it. Our call schedule is enhancing. It's getting more full, which is great. On Monday, February the 3rd, we will launch our first Dream Team Pastors Call. It's not for pastors only, but it's led by pastors because we believe this is a divine appointment. We don't believe it's an accident or coincidence that this happened. This is by faith that this has happened. Most of us on the team who's been kind of leading this effort to help everybody to be successful with it, we've been doing this kind of stuff for 20, 30, 40, and even 50 years, literally, individually. I'm at 20 years myself since 1999. There's people that's on this team that's at 40 years. So we've been doing some things for a long time, and therefore we can definitely help you get through some things that we've already overcome. And I'm so excited about that because it's significant to have such a strong leadership team like we have. And so that call is going to be led by Bishop McLeod, who just came on the team and just went off and took over and just understood the concept very quickly and has been growing a very large organization in a short amount of time. Tuesday, we're going to do our first ever online marketing call, where we're going to explain our online marketing system that we're launching right now. We're right in the midst of great push go on this thing. And so we're excited about being able to share that with everybody. Thursday is our same opportunity call that you're on right now, Zoom call. And then Sunday will be a Bruce's call, the coach's call. And real quickly, guys, that's the call that got me locked in. You know, when Steve Lincoln, my inviter, asked me about this, I've been knowing Steve 20 years. And when he put me on to this information, I was like, when I'm not ready right now, I'm a little bit busy. I'm doing some real estate stuff and really not, looking into that. And Steve paid it forward for me. He put me in on the system, and I didn't do anything for 6 months, really almost 7 months. But what got me started was, he said, Michael, you need to listen to Bruce Chapman. I just need you to come on this call tonight and just listen. You don't have to say nothing. And man, it turned me on so much, man. I'm goosebumping up again because Bruce was so genuine. And he was just talking about some stuff that I already knew about, really. But you know how it is sometimes when you hear something for a second or a third or a fourth time, sometimes it can hit you in another way. And then I come to find out that it's like that every Sunday when he's talking. I'm like, man, this dude got something good. And so I just love Bruce Chapman, the coach of this team, the leader of the dream team. I just feel so fortunate to even be a part. I asked him, he asked me to be the master trainer. And I was so, I was overwhelmed. I was really excited about that opportunity to be the master trainer for the dream team. And we're not looking back. So if you haven't written this down or saved on your phone yet, you got to go to ccfdreamteam.com. We're placing everything there. And I just noticed one thing we don't have on this slide is our GroupMe account. We got the GroupMe for the text messaging, CCF Dream Team for our YouTube channel. We got ccfdreamteam.com as our website. We really have everything that you need. So with that in mind, plan on being with the team in Miami on June the 26th, while we do our inaugural conference and meet and greet. And then 3 days after that, we'll be on a 4-day cruise out of Miami on Carnival Cruise Line. Everybody's booking their stuff right now. We got several cabins booked, and we're really, really excited about, partying up with everybody and getting to meet them, for the first time, because most time all we do is just spend time on the phone. So with that, let me open up the call. You can unmute yourself if you had a question. And before you ask the question, I'd like to ask, Mr. Bruce Chapman, the coach of the team, to share some inspiring words with us.
Hey, can you hear me, Mike?
I can, sir.
Okay. Hey, way to go! I imagine everybody can look at the presentation and see why you are indeed the master trainer, and our responsibility to that is to grow this call so everybody get a chance to see this. There's something amazing about a visual. And I like your accountability stuff because it's fantastic. I think that's the key to what we got to do. If we're not accountable, then nothing else matters. All your slides, all your presentations, all the good stuff you share with us, if we are not going to be accountable, then it won't work. And accountability trumps everything. So kudos to you, Michael. Fantastic trip. I'm sure everybody enjoyed it immensely. And yes, March, we'll see you in DC. Super Saturday. So we're looking forward to that. Tell Angelina I said hi and thumbs up to her. And let's go, team. That's about all you can say. After a while, the talking got to stop, and the action point is where the rubber meets the road. So let's rock. So Amen. Here we go. Kudos to you, Mike.
Man, thank you, Bruce. Thank you. I think we're somewhere around 80 new people or something like that throughout this trip.
Well, that lets everybody know it's real, and everybody come join in and participate. It's growing. Now it's time for you to become accountable and grow your segment of the community. Fantastic. Let's go.
Amen. Amen. So did anybody have any, like, 1 or 2 pressing questions on their mind that they want to voice right now?
Unmute yourself.
Just unmute yourself and you can talk.
No question.